Hello students, this is the chapter number 1 in poems book for the students of 11th and 12th class. The name of the poem is The Darkling Thrush. Thrush is the name of the bird and the bird is symbolizing darkness in this poem. इस पोएम में पोइट ने अपने दुख को एक्सप्रेस किया है क्योंकि लोगों का नेचर के ऊपर से विश्वास बिल्कुल कम होता जा रहा है एट द एंड ऑफ 19th सेंचुरी। और 19th सेंचुरी के एंड होने पर इंग्लैंड में लोग इंडस्ट्रीज़ की ओर तेज़ी से आगे बढ़ रहे थे, यानी कि लोगों का इंटरेस्ट इंडस्ट्रियल थिंग्स में ज़्यादा था इन कंपैरिजन टू द नेचुरल थिंग्स और इन नेचर. That means in this poem the poet has described the unpleasant picture of nature, and the poet is trying to tell us that now people have left all the interest in the natural things and they are fastly growing towards the industrial things. Now I am going to explain the poem stanza wise. I leaned upon a coppice gate means poet was bending down upon a coppice gate. Coppice gate is referring to the place that is opening towards the forest. Means poet was leaning upon a gate that was opening onto the forest when frost was sceptre grey, and he is comparing frost and saying that frost is looking as grey as a ghost, यानी कि वो यहाँ पर फ्रॉस्ट को किससे घोस्ट से कंपेयर कर रहा है. एंड विंटर्स ड्रैग्स मेड डिसोलेट द वीकनिंग आई ऑफ डे, एंड विंटर हैज़ मेड एवरीथिंग डिसोलेट, यानी कि सब कुछ विंटर ने उजाड़ दिया है या ख़राब कर दिया है. द वीकनिंग आई ऑफ डे, आई ऑफ द डे रेफरिंग टू द सन, एंड when the sun is going to be set, winter has desolated everything. The tangled vine stems scored the sky like strings of broken lyres. That means the stems of the trees are tangled in the sky, just like after breaking any of the musical instrument its wires gets entangled. जिस तरीके से मतलब यहाँ पर किस तरीके से यहाँ पे कंपैरिजन किया जा रहा है, द टेंगल्ड बाइन स्टेप स्कोर्ड द स्काई, यानी कि जो टहनियाँ हैं पेड़ की वो क्या हो गई हैं, उलझ गई हैं स्काई में. ठीक उसी तरीके से जिस तरीके से किसी म्यूज़िकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट के टूट जाने पर उसके तार आपस में उलझ जाते हैं. एंड ऑल मैनकाइंड दैट हॉन्टेड नाई हैड सॉट देयर हाउस होल्ड फायर्स. Now poet is showing contrast in last two lines by saying that outside there is a haunting picture, that means terrible picture, had sought their household fires, and people have decided to remain inside their houses. So in the first stanza poet is describing the terrible picture of nature at the end of 19th century and describing the wintry evening. Second stanza, the land's sharp features seem to be the century's corpse outlined. In these lines poet is trying to tell us that the century has got died and its corpses are spreading everywhere. Century's corpse means द 19th सेंचुरी हैज़ गॉट एंडेड, और इसकी मतलब वो यहाँ पर सेंचुरी को पर्सोनीफाई करते हुए कह रहा है कि द डेड बॉडीज़ ऑफ सेंचुरी आर लाइंग एवरीवेयर. हिज क्रिप्ट द क्लाउडी कैनोपाई मीन्स क्रिप्ट मीन्स टॉम्ब, क्लाउडी स्काई इज हिज टॉम्ब. द विंड हिज डेथ लेमेंट, एंड विंड इज लेमेंटिंग ओवर द डेथ ऑफ सेंचुरी. The ancient pulse of germ and birth was shrunken, hard and dry. Means whatever seeds might help in the production was shrunken, hard and dry. Means all the seeds what might be helpful for the production have shrunken and they have dried up. यानी कि प्रोडक्शन जो है बिल्कुल मुरझा गया है या ख़त्म हो चुका है. एंड एवरी स्पिरिट अपॉन अर्थ सीम्ड फर्वरलेस एज आई. एंड एवरी स्पिरिट अवेलेबल ऑन दिस अर्थ सीम्ड depressed. Fervorless means depressed, just like a poet. So in the second stanza, poet is talking about the death of the century, and wind is lamenting over the death of the century, and everything is in the depressed situation. Now stanza number 3. At once a voice arose among the bleak twigs overhead. Suddenly poet heard a voice that was arising from the twigs. Twigs means टहनियों से उसे आवाज़ सुनाई देती है. In a full-hearted even song, and the song was a kind of evening song of joy illimited. That means a bird was singing in full of joy. An aged thrush, and thrush is the name of the bird, and the bird is aged, frail, gaunt and small. And the bird which is singing is very weak and small, in blast beruffled plumes, and flying over the sky using his feathers, had chosen thus to fling his soul upon the growing gloom. And the bird has chosen evening time to sing his song, which is symbolizing the approaching of the darkness. Growing gloom means darkness. That means in the third stanza, poet is talking about the voice of the bird which is singing a song at the end of the 19th century. Now fourth stanza. So little cause for carolings of such ecstatic sound. That means poet does not find any of the reason for such type of joyful sound was written on terrestrial things. Terrestrial means related to earth. There is nothing on this earth which is pleasant afar or nigh around. मतलब आसपास अर्थ पर ऐसा कोई भी प्लीजेंट चीज़ नहीं है जिसकी वजह से सच अ ब्यूटीफुल सॉन्ग मतलब कोई बर्ड कभी गाएगा. That I could think there trembled through his happy good night air some blessed hope. But even then poet thinks that there is something, or the bird finds some hope whereof he knew, and bird finds any kind of hope, therefore he is singing. But only birds knows about that hope, and I was unaware. And poet was completely unaware of any kind of hope that he finds. मतलब पोइट क्या कहना चाह रहा है यहाँ पे कि बर्ड ओनली फाइंड्स सम काइंड ऑफ होप, यानी कि बर्ड को ही कुछ उम्मीद दिख रही है इस सेंचुरी के एंड होने पर, कोई पॉजिटिव होप देख रहा है, इसलिए वो जॉयफुल मूड में यहाँ पर सिंगिंग कर रहा है. बट पोइट इज़ अनअवेयर टू फाइंड एनी काइंड ऑफ होप like this. So in this poem, by describing darkling thrush, poet is explaining or describing the unpleasant picture of the nature, how all the things available in nature are looking so depressed, and poet himself is depressed at the end of the 19th century. Students, if you like this poem, you can subscribe this channel and press the bell icon for more such type of videos.